Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the eerie and fascinating world of abandoned small towns that you've probably never heard of. We're talking ghost towns, forgotten towns, towns that'll make you sleep with the lights on, you get the picture. So get ready to explore some seriously creepy places, hear some crazy stories, and maybe, just maybe, win $10,000 if you can guess which town I'm about to show you. Just kidding. Now they're just empty shells frozen in time with nothing but whispers of the past, so buckle up and get ready for a spooky yet hilarious ride. First up, we're headed to Centralia, Pennsylvania. This town has been on fire for over 50 years. Back in 1962, a fire started in the town's underground coal mine. They tried to put it out, but this wasn't your average bonfire. The fire just kept burning, spreading through the network of underground coal veins. The smoke was so bad and the ground so unstable that the government eventually had to relocate most of the residents. Today, Centralia is a ghost town, with only a handful of residents refusing to leave. The streets are cracked, smoke rises from the ground, and there's an eerie silence that hangs in the air. It's like stepping onto the set of a post-apocalyptic movie. Except it's real. So maybe we'll just stick to exploring it virtually for now. Next stop, we're heading west to Bodie, California. This place is what happens when you mix the Wild West with a ghost town. Back in the 1800s, Bodie was a boom town, overflowing with gold miners. At its peak, Bodie had over 10,000 residents. But just like a gold rush, Bodie's fortunes eventually dried up. The mines closed, people moved on, and the town became a shadow of its former self. Today, Bodie is a perfectly preserved ghost town. You can walk down the deserted streets and almost hear the echoes of the past. It's like stepping back in time. Get ready to put on your hazmat suits because we're heading to Pripyat, Ukraine. This town is about one of the most significant nuclear disasters in history, Chernobyl. Pripyat was a bustling city built for the workers and families of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Everything was going fine until that fateful day in 1986, when reactor number 4 exploded. The disaster forced the evacuation of Pripyat, turning it into a ghost town overnight. Imagine having to leave your home in a hurry, not knowing if you'd ever be able to return. Today, Pripyat stands as a stark reminder of the devastating power of nuclear energy. The buildings are crumbling, the streets are overgrown, and an eerie silence blankets the city. It's like stepping into a time capsule, frozen on the day of the disaster. I'm thinking about doing a Geiger counter challenge in Pripyat. We could each get a Geiger counter and see who can find the highest radiation reading. Just kidding! That would be incredibly irresponsible and dangerous, but hey, a guy can dream, right? Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter a town with two identities: Glenrio, Texas, New Mexico. This quirky little town sits right on the Texas-New Mexico border, with the state line running down the middle of Main Street. Glenrio was once a bustling stop along Route 66, the iconic American highway. Travelers would stop for gas, food, and a good night's sleep before continuing their journey. But then, disaster struck. Well, not exactly a disaster, more like a bypass. When Interstate 40 was built, it bypassed Glenrio entirely. No more travelers, no more business, and soon, no more Glenrio. Today, Glenrio is a ghost town, frozen in time along a forgotten stretch of Route 66. You can walk down the empty streets, peek into the windows of abandoned businesses, and imagine a time when life moved at a slower pace. Our final stop takes us to Oradour-sur-Glane, France, a village forever marked by tragedy. This isn't your typical ghost town, it's a somber reminder of the horrors of war. On June 10, 1944, Nazi soldiers entered Oradour-sur-Glane and committed an unspeakable act of violence, massacring 642 men, women, and children. The village was left in ruins, a chilling testament to the brutality of war. After the war, it was decided that Oradour-sur-Glane would remain untouched, a permanent memorial to the victims. The ruins stand as they were that day, a haunting reminder of the human cost of conflict. Visiting Oradour-sur-Glane is a deeply moving experience. It's a place where you can feel the weight of history, where silence speaks volumes, and where reflection is inevitable. It wouldn't feel right to do a challenge or a giveaway in Oradour-sur-Glane. This town is a place for quiet contemplation and remembrance. It's a reminder that history is not just dates in a textbook, it's made up of real people, real lives, and real tragedies. Thanks for joining us on this spooky tour of abandoned small towns. We've explored towns frozen in time, towns ravaged by disaster, and towns haunted by the ghosts of their past. Remember, these aren't just empty buildings and deserted streets, they're remnants of lives lived, dreams chased, and stories told. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome content. See you in the next adventure.